from the intelligence agencies.
No,
that's why he had spoken.
No, one sec. Shobhade wants to come in. Usually I know governments which say, let the investigation take its course. This is the first time I've seen a chief minister come to a direct conclusion. In other words, he's saying, Nathuram Godse killed Mahatma Gandhi. Nathuram Godse was a Hindu right-winger, and therefore a Hindu right-winger has killed Narendra Dabholkar. Now, I don't know the facts of this case, but it's a fairly quick summary conclusion that he has drawn. Shobhade is not happy with that. Shobhade.
No, I'm really quite surprised with the stand that the Chief Minister has taken. You talked about him jumping the gun. It's very out of character for him to make these kind of statements. And A, does he have proof? And how can he talk in such a communal language? I mean, this is a very dangerous trend. Yes, he is gaining political points out of this. And if we continue to carry on with this kind of a private investigation, make these kind of irresponsible charges with nothing to substantiate those charges, we are going to get into an area of tremendous social disharmony, and it can lead to a law and order situation.
I say the Chief Minister of a state should not be suggestive. If the Chief Minister knows that Hindu, if the Chief Minister of Maharashtra knows that Hindu right-wing groups killed Dabholkar, it is the responsibility, I say, of the Chief Minister of Maharashtra to name those people. Suggestiveness is not the answer. Ashok Pandit wants to come in. I'm coming back.
Is extremely dangerous in such sensitive times.
Problem nowadays is a problem. Every politician wants to play with fire.
Shobha, it could lead to a law and order situation.
I fail to understand why is superstition related only to one religion. Okay, one. Number two, our CM has very smartly diverted the main issue towards a particular sect, trying to hide his failure, trying to hide his guilt of not protecting this great man on the street.
Dabholkar cut across faiths. It wasn't about this religion or that religion. He was a rationalist.
Absolutely.
He cut across all faiths. So it could be vested interest because godmen and godwomen fronting for politicians, big money involved. The question of money was brought in by you. There is a lot of money at stake, and maybe he was inconvenient to a lot of people. Who was he so inconvenient to that we are immediately rushing? The Chief Minister is pointing fingers at someone without naming. To me, this sounds like something they're trying to hide. It's very. He was inconvenient.
Our CM has very smartly diverted the entire issue of getting a common man on the street killed towards a political politicized the entire issue.
It was a premeditated murder. It was a premeditated murder. It didn't just happen.
John Dayal.
No. This was a murder which has been premeditated, behind which was a huge conspiracy, and quite obviously a lot of vested interests are involved. My argument would be, if the Chief Minister knows, he should act on his knowledge and arrest those people.
Before he was killed.
If he knows who did it, then quite obviously his police can reach out to them. But having said that, I think we must have a sense of sanity there. The man was murdered for what he had been. He was antagonizing certain forces. What the Chief Minister should do is identify those forces and ask the police to arrest them. There is no dilly-daddling on that. There is no diversion on that.
Shweta Palulekar. Shweta.
When the Chief Minister is known to very rightly use his words and his language, he giving this communal angle is very, very shameful, condemnable, especially when the social situation nationally and in the state is so vulnerable. As you rightly said, he should have come out with the names, and then people would have deduced that who has done this. Instead of that, he has completely diverted this entire thing.
Nawab Malik, I know you want to respond, but I'll go to Somera at this point. We've come to some fairly quick conclusions here, and I think it would be a disgrace to the memory of Dr. Narendra Dabholkar. It would be a disgrace to politicize this whole issue, but that's the direction it seems to be taking, unfortunately. What do you think, Somera?
Yeah, I think it's very unfortunate that all sides of the spectrum seem to be looking at the political mileage they can gain out of this matter.
At the most they can.
And each one is looking at how they can portray their own stand to be the right person, whereas actually everyone is at fault. It seems very likely that the people who actually made the threats might be responsible. It seems very likely that it is so. And so the Chief Minister would have some basis which perhaps he knew about even before the murder. And he did not act on it, and now he's taking the stand that they are at fault without disclosing why he thinks so.
No.
So I think really that
So I'm going to ask Nawab Malik a very straight question. So Nawab Malik, are you saying that your Chief Minister thinks the Sanatan Sanstha is responsible?
See, Chief Minister must be having some input.
No, don't say no, some inputs. Are you saying, no, 1 minute. Are you saying the Sanatan Sanstha is responsible? Or the Hindu Jan Jagruti Samiti is responsible, which have both opposed the anti-superstition bill, which he was pushing for. No, 1 second. Sir, please, I believe that you cannot be suggestive without knowing the facts. Your Chief Minister has said that the same people who killed Gandhi have killed him, right? Now that's who killed Gandhi? Tell me, Nawab Malik. It's Hindu right-wing groups, right? Which means
The ideology, who follows this kind of ideology may be behind this. Chief Minister must be having some input from the intelligence.
But
and
there
I
was the
think in
input
future
beforehand that he
someday
could have- he should have
it will be before the country.
When? After
Who
his
are
death?
behind the murder?
After his death.
Maybe
it should have
some
happened
lawyers
before
or
his
some
death.
people are not
Why does the
arrested.
input always come
But
later?
Who are the mind behind
no, but
this murder?
what's the point in having an investigation if you've already decided what the end result of that investigation is going to be?
No, everybody knows ATS is already recommended ban on this organization. They are doing the wrong thing in that areas. Already there are reports regarding this Sanatan
Referring to ATS which he has attacked. He said for Malegaon 2006 that ATS is doing a wrong job. He has attacked ATS and he is quoting ATS now. This is very serious. He said ATS is a hopeless organization which is communal, which is doing the job wrongly under political pressure. Nawab Malik said that. He has taken those people to blame ATS. Today he is claiming the ATS. Second thing, sir, in this case, our website was banned.
But you cannot put your words in my mouth. I never said this kind of a statement. The ATS had made recommendation to ban Sanatan Sanstha, Hindu Jan Jagruti Manch because they are involved in terrorist activities, and the recommendation had been made by the state to the center.
Nawab Malik, I just want to say one thing in conclusion here, that the last thing we need, we don't want politics over it. Your government sat on this bill for 15 years, by the way. 15 years. You have passed it after this man has been killed. You did not provide him any security. Okay? You did not provide him any security. You have already concluded who killed him without having any shred of information in the public domain about who is responsible. The investigation has not started. So the great tragedy is, and this is where I conclude, that in the run-up to 2014, it's a broader point I'm making, is everybody wants to play with a communal fire. Everybody, no, 1 second. I don't think you are too innocent on this either. Mr. Punalekar, you represent a group which is as intolerant. No, I didn't. What? Let out what?
Our website. I must say this. Just now, Mr. Nawab Malik said something. Our website was banned for the writings. I was called to Delhi, and they said to remove 4 things. First issue was about Kashmiri Pandits. Second issue about Bangladeshi infiltrators. Third issue was about Raza Academy, and fourth was about Samshar Khan Pathan. Home Ministry did not tell us to remove any of this material. Today that has become communal.
I'll also tell you one thing. Don't mind my saying it. I always say things directly. This country has an army. It has a police. It has a paramilitary. Absolutely. Let me tell you clearly. This country does not need a Kshatriya dharma. Okay, which creates a group of people which calls for the formation
that we have seen
which calls for the formation of a Hindu Naxal force. 1 second. This country does not need religious vigilantism, and you may not like my saying so. This country does not need religious vigilantism.
This is spiritual.
No, it's not spiritual. It's not spiritual. The Hindu religion is far deeper than you think. Shobha Dev says it's not spiritual. I'll give a last comment.
And let's not bring Hinduism into it either. I'm sorry, this is not about Hinduism, and we are not here to listen to a discourse on Hinduism. The point is, a man was killed in cold blood. He was murdered.
That is condemned.
And he was murdered by vested interests. And today our Chief Minister seems to insinuate that he knows who committed that murder. Then have the guts to pick up those people. charge them, try them, and let's see justice being done. The timing of the bill is suspect. It is something that is shocking. It's insulting the memory of the man who all his life stood up for this. And today we are passing the bill after he's dead. It's an
dangerous
insult.
message that a person must be killed to get the bill passed.
No, I think that's unfortunate. No, I think it's unfortunate.
This is opportunism. This is political opportunism. And a bigger issue is today anybody who raises their voice, who believes in free speech is vulnerable. Is vulnerable in whichever sphere. And that is the bigger message, and we all have to be alert about that. It makes every one of us here vulnerable.
But let me say one thing. For every person who is targeted, there are millions of others who continue to speak. It may seem like an old cliche, right, Sumaira? They try to attack you, they try to kill you as well. Does it ever make a difference to somebody who's got,
No, I think in fact it emboldens you further because you know that you're standing for the right.
Absolutely.
And it is something that is really worth doing.
I think I second that. Because
I have to die to get my cause completed. It's the biggest tragedy.
Well, I think
I have to give my blood.
I think activism today.
Shocking.
I think every citizen is an activist, and
stand up and be counted. That's important. All those of us, we must stand up and be counted and not get cowed down by these bullies.
Absolutely, I think it's
bullies are cowards. As you rightly said.
I think as I began by saying, those who shoot at people like Dabholkar are cowards, and there's no definition or religion for them. Thank you very much for participating in that debate. And thank you very much to all our panelists. I'll see you tomorrow, once again, on the Newshour at 9. Good night and goodbye.